So yeah, over here, one Delta Force down, but this one's still here, okay? We do not know it's there. They only lost half their men from casualties from their helicopter exploding. And, you know, Delta Force do have recon capabilities, so they'll be able to spot whatever we're reinforcing. A sneaky little Kurz recon seems to be coming in to spot what's being reinforced. I mean, we don't really have that much in November. We've got these Motorstruck here, which will do wonders. Oh, MBT-70 is firing directly on the coal. This is micromanagement there. Jagger will be torn apart by that thing. See, all they've got left is their MBT-70. It shouldn't have been rushed in like that. You know, if the Motorstruck could get an eye on it, it's gone. Although, actually, now that I think about it, there isn't actually anything left. Look, there's MBT-70, some self-propelled artillery that don't have any don't have any defensive procedures, and 2 command vehicles. If that thing pushes before those infantry got there, it would have done a bit of damage. Elsewhere here, the toes and the MBT-70 gets mincemeat of that tank. Quite an expensive loss for us. But yeah. So November's pretty much been pinned down that much. I mean, their force in this wood is now unstoppable. Those Sabrels should have been vetted, but it looks like they've got a bit of veterancy anyway. And what is that? They've got Abbott's artillery. Oh, that's going to cause carnage. Close range artillery with a unit in there to spot it. Malka's, however, returning fire. This is going to be an intense fight. Ooh, it looks like they're taking some hits. Overall, the Malkas definitely have the advantage though, but they've got the FOBs to resupply them. These guys only have 1 Cuber. That's not going to keep them firing for long. Elsewhere, reinforcements from ROF, the T-72Bs, T-80BVs, more T-72Bs, Tunguskas, and a Bertino. Ooh, if that Bertino gets a good shot out on this fort, it would tear them apart. These tool keeps are just paper thin. But again, they've got their accurate as you get them, so every volley they do could cause carnage. Yeah, look at that. Those T-72s have pretty much been, one volley nearly knocked out these 2 expensive tanks. The Bertino, though, it's just going to finish them off. Look, the Chaparrals are pretty much destroyed. MP Jupiter, empty, useless. You know, all they've got left is 1 recon unit left against... Well, they did take out... Did they take out the tanks, or they get clustered together? Yeah, they did take out half of the T-72s. But the Motorstruck here are now firing at close range. This offensive is just being stopped completely. Elsewhere, some BTRs filled with infantry have stopped off at this town. Don't know what he was thinking. I guess if they tried to flank through there, and they were set to move fast to save fuel, they'd go through the town and we'd get an early warning of a flank attempt on Bravo. Elsewhere, me and Roth are bringing in more command units to take Delta and Alpha, just to get the points advantage, because, are they reinforcing? You see, they've got 1 command going in for Gillette, but they're just too slow on these command vehicles. They really, they're putting a lot of money into taking November, but they aren't, using the advantage. They've thrown a lot of points and given us the lead to push us back. But the thing is, that only works out when you use the land you've covered. They've lost points just to be able to secure Mike, Lima, Juliet, India, Quebec, Oscar Papa. They have 2/3 of the map just on a plate, but they're not using it. However, we're using the part of the map that we have, so that's going to work out well for us, I'd say. Also, right here, they've got quite a lot of forces. Milan infantry, soldiers from us holding this little area here. Leopards, Itos, not vetted, so they won't be as deadly as the other ones. Roland 2s. They've got a huge force here. But now that we've got all these forces here, November's pretty much secured. Their attempt to take November has failed. So it's a sort of odd situation where we have more command vehicles than areas to secure, but they have these huge wide tracts of land that they can't take advantage of because they're not spending their money where they need to. See, they still think we're in Quebec. I don't think they've sent anything except for 1 small recon unit possibly into Quebec. But they've got all these ITO keeps. Are they vetted? No, they're not. They've got Kiagers. They've got quite a bit of force defending here. And offensive has begun to try and resecure the woods, but that MBT-70 is going to cause some damage, except the artillery stunned it. Quick kill for the infantry there. Although the Gagger there, that's 4 Gagger, that's going to tear them apart if they don't get out of their BMPs quickly enough. Yep, there we go. And we get... And look, all that artillery is firing on that one MBT. It's not a very efficient way of dealing with it, but Gagger have taken a punch. Oh, that's here. The tanks are advancing. Everything's stunned and panicked. Oh, his motor shell gear finished, but that tank's routed. How bad are these tanks? Not that much. Let's see what else is going on. I think there's been a bit of a lull in the fighting here. Oh yeah, up here I sort of put a recon just to see if I could spot anything for artillery. Now here's the thing. Okay, this is actually quite odd because seen in the replay. Basically what happened was I decided we've got a spare command vehicle. Nothing's happening at Quebec. You know, there's been a lot of intense fighting here. They've got way too much stuff here for us to make an efficient attack. So why don't we hit Quebec and then hit their money source? You know, they haven't taken full advantage of it. If we could sneak in to Quebec, secure a reinforcement zone and get hit Papa Oscar Juliet Lima, you know, we'd have this game in the bag. However, they're thinking of the same thing. Look, make troops attack, attack, attack. Positioning. They've got this Delta Force, so they know all I have is one Tunguska, but this is most of my stuff here. So a Tunguska, if you keep T-55 recon and the command vehicle just sitting out in the open of the road for a quick getaway, obviously. So it's a sort of odd thing where both teams decided at the same time to flank. Normally get a bit of difference in that. So let's have a look at the various flanking forces. So we got 4 keeps fully vetted again. Every wave of toes they release will be certain death. AMX 30 main battle tanks, fast, powerful, but poorly armoured, typically French, and some chaparrals not vetted. They're not that much of a threat. More MRS has been brought in. Now my recon unit's getting a bit low on fuel, so I'm just driving it through. I tried to get spotted as much stuff as possible, and I got my eyes on this artillery that they had. I'm not sure if this is the same artillery from earlier. Probably not. But, you know, artillery got some supplies here. This recon can see it. As you can see, I've turned all their weapons off, because otherwise they'd give them away by firing. Elsewhere, some forest fighting, some kind of infantry unit. I'm not going to bother to pronounce a Motostralki. All being split up for micromanagement. MBT trying to sneak through. I think it's trying to do a sneak attack on November. Right, so let's look. I've got the recon helicopter sort of guiding the way. Some keep T-72s to absorb any ambushes. Supplies to keep everything running. Tunguska against the counter attack. More Mi-9s to widen the scout area. Colo supply trucks, Tunguskas, and some heavy firepower. Here. Oh look, the Spetsnaz were engaged. And not even. Those must have been the infantry in the town. I think he was trying to drive it around, but they collided head-on into their forces. Bad luck for the Spetsnaz. They've got a really poor bazooka, although there's actually not anything away that those toes are weak to. So the Spetsnaz's bazookas would have done wonders against those toe keeps, as indeed they have. But then again, against the tanks, the Spetsnaz were just wiped out. But the thing is, we would have spotted that. MBT-70 trying to fight off, but against 280 T-80s. Although I'm not sure why the Tunguska was out in front, taking quite a few hits from that. But there you go. And these woods are pretty much under our control now. The motor stroke here gets, advancing. There's nothing left. These guys can't even retreat because they're out of fuel. Elsewhere, more forces being moved in. Here comes our command unit. We're fairly spread out, so a lucky attack helicopter would have done it. Elsewhere, the guy who had the Spetsnaz is alerting us to the fact. Oh yes, and also here, the Delta Force called in some artillery on the command vehicle, and look how low its health is. It's pretty much been wiped out, and the fact that the Delta Force are there, if they call in more artillery on that, it's going to be carnage. However, I think the artillery was repositioned following the recon unit attacking it. Yeah, so this attack force has sort of been reduced, but it's lost its punch. You know, the French tanks wouldn't have the firepower to take on a determined defence. However, if we lose that CV, you know, Bravo will fall quite easily. Charlie's defenceless, Foxtrot's defenceless, you know. There's still a lot of firepower in this, whereas over here, bringing in more command vehicles, you see, they're just taking way too long to secure Lima. This whole area should have been secured ages ago. Bring in some VABs with AGKMs. Milan's most likely. So yeah, basically what happened is at Quebec, we've got quite a powerful attacking force, but they've got quite a powerful defense here. And over here, their defense or attacking force was wiped out by a lucky ambush, more or less. But yeah, so we know the attack's coming because of the Spetsnaz intervention. So I bring in 4 vetted Conquerors infantry, Mi-9 reconnaissance helicopters brought in to check it out. Chaparrals might be able to kill it though. T-72s, P-71s, you know, a huge amount of force here. Elsewhere here, MRSs have been spotted by the PT-5, but then the Kurs recon spots it. I allow it to start firing its weapons, but look, that artillery can come down directly on top of those MRSs. Ooh, one takes the hit. Remember, these are expensive units. Every loss is a nightmare for them. But the Kurz's AGM is doing damage. I mean, in a more ranged fight, the PT-85 would monster the Kurz, but the trouble is it's running out of fuel. It can't maneuver. The Kurz quickly knocks it out. However, you know, their MRS batteries took a pretty big hit there. Up here, go back to ours. And now we're reinforcing to begin the offensive. Havoc being brought in. Oops. Now a big offensive from NATO. They've got Leopard 2A4s leading the way. These BM2 and BMP2 and BMP3s will quickly knock them out, however. This one's unlikely to survive more than a second. Oh, they're aiming for the Saracens instead. But yeah, that offensive seems to have been turned on its head. Elsewhere here, the T-55s open for the Chaparrals. AMXs, you know, also this attacking force doesn't have any reconnaissance units. I don't think the French, yeah, per optics, they can't see anything. That's their problem. This ATGM's only good because of its range and damage. You know, it doesn't have, that's gonna die quite quickly. Yeah, my T-72s will make short work of that. Bit of a waste of AGMs from my Conquerors, but what are you gonna do? More firing from the T-72s. This will be a short battle. Yeah. Of course, you know, these are just basic T-55s and T-72s. Their accuracy is atrocious, but their firepower, rate of fire, everything's routing and retreating. You know, they really didn't put enough into this attack. You know, they needed some better recon units, but it wasn't to be. Elsewhere, offensive has now been turned on its head. The M17 rocket helicopters have been brought in to clear it up, but the Roland 2s are still here. Overall, I don't actually like the Roland 2s that much just because of their poor range for an anti-aircraft helicopter, but then again, rocket pod helicopters doesn't matter that much, I guess. Although they are actually firing on it and are panicking it. So, just to show, you know, this is a rocket helicopter. It should have been monstered by an AA helicopter. More rocket helicopters. Not as good as the Mi-17s, but it'll still do the job. Running low on ammunition. It's panicked. You know, that once a AA weapon is panicked, it's going to have a trouble hitting anything. Although that did get off 2 successful hits, so maybe it's more accurate than I gave it credit for. I guess it's slightly vetted and that might have something to do with it. Elsewhere, the ITOs launch a quick volley, take out the two T-72s, but my expensive Tunguska survives.